Let's try to work on sorting for array of objects. While doing the sorting on array of objects, we need to compulsory customize the sort method by giving a comparison function to it, because we have to define how the two different objects will be compared with each other and decided which is smaller or which is bigger to perform an ascending or a descending sort. Let's try to do it with an example. So let me just create an array over here. In this, I am putting an object. I'll just keep only two properties in my object to make the example much simpler to understand. Initially, my array, which is holding three objects in it. And all these three objects are using two properties in it. One is ID and the second is name. But here, let me just reshuffle it. For example, let me put this 103 on the top side here. Then yeah, like this. So now I want to perform a sorting on this object so that it will come based upon IDs, so that this will be on the top, this will be on the second position, and this will be on my third position. And how I'm deciding that? So I'm deciding that on the property called ID here, which is a number. So we need to write a custom compare function for that. So let's try to do it. Array.sort. Very first thing, if I use the basic one without compare function, let's see what happens. So here it is 103, then 101 and 102. So it's 103, 101 and 102. It means there is no difference at all when I'm using the default one. Because what exactly the default one does, it just try to compare the one object with another without having any information in its property, using which property it needs to perform the comparison and everything. So we have to write a customized function to give that behavior. So let me write a custom function here for the compare, in which there will be two parameters for that, object 1 and the object 2. And it will return a positive number or a negative number or 0. When it will return a negative number when the first object is smaller than the second object. When it will return the positive number when the first object is bigger than the second number. And when it will return 0 when both are equal. You can also have that behavior over here. You can read it out. So what I'll do here, I'll simply say object1 dot id minus object2 dot id. So what is the expected outcome of this particular arrow function is a negative number if the first ID is smaller than the second ID. Of course, it will provide a negative number if it is a smaller and if it is a bigger one. It will produce a positive outcome when the first ID will be bigger and the second ID will be smaller. And it should produce 0 when both are equal. So it's a perfect combination that we have written here. Now let's try in output. That's perfect. So we are able to see the object which is having the ID 101 coming off the top, then at the second position 102, and at the third position it's 103. Now, even though I increase this object complexity to a great level, that doesn't matter. Let's say, for example, I'm introducing one more nested object inside it, like this. Again for here, again for here. Now you can see the difference here. Even though I'm increasing the complexity of my object, it doesn't matter, because in simply the comparison, we are just making use of ID. What exactly written inside other properties of this ID doesn't matter to us. We are just bothered about the ID part. Let's see the output once again. Yes, we can see all the other things are coming as it is very perfectly. Now let's try to do the comparison based on the name now. So we want something alphabetical order, for example. So I'll just comment out this part as of now, and I'll try to perform an alphabetical sort here. So again, I'll say object 1, object 2, object 1 dot name, object to dot name. My very first question to all of you guys, can I write the comparison in this way for name? I did it for a number, but can I do it for a string? I'll just take a pause here so that you can think how you can write a comparison function for string comparison here. Yes, first thing, I can't write this because these are the string, these are not the numbers. I can write the less than or the greater than symbol, which will help us to identify the name is alphabetically smaller than the second name in the object too. This is an okay solution. But the problem here is that the comparison will return you true or false. But remember, the outcome which is being needed out of this compare function is negative, positive, or zero. We need these three combination. So if the first element is smaller than the second element, it should reproduce the negative number. If the first element is bigger than the second element, it should produce the positive number, or both are equal, then it should produce a zero. So we can convert this by writing a small statement here. So let's try to enhance this arrow function. So firstly, in this arrow function, there is only one statement. So there are no curly brackets and everything needed. But now we need to write more logic in it. So we have to introduce curly brackets. And when I'm introducing the curly brackets, of course, I need to write the return statement. So let's move inside here and start writing the things. If object1 dot name, if it is smaller than object2 dot name, so I should return a negative number. In this case, I'll return -1. Else if object1 dot name, if it is bigger than object2 dot name, I'll return a positive number. And if both are equal, then let it go in a else part where I'm going to return 0. Let me just remove the last portion here. Let's apply the prettier. That's perfect. So whatever my compare function was expecting the three different output, negative number, positive number, and 0, that I'm satisfying all these conditions. And I'm also satisfied with whatever the comparison I have done for the strings. Now let's have a look at the output now. Yes, so we are getting a perfect outcome here now. In this case, so this is NPS. To make it more quick, what I will do, I'll just keep it, for example, Z. I'll keep it A. I'll keep it B. Because I just want to quickly verify the names are getting sorted or not. Yes, so you can see it. So we have successfully implemented a object sort based upon ID previously, a number, and we have also implemented now based upon the string by writing a custom logic here. So this is how the sorting will help you to sort the complex objects by using and writing the custom compare function in JavaScript. What is stable sort in JavaScript? So stable sort is a sorting mechanism in which if there are any similar items before sorting, those will remain with its current position or maybe the same sequence after the sorting as well. Let's see with a small example to understand it more better. Let's see, we are having an array of objects here. Let me just quickly build array of object here. Okay, and now here there is one more. I'll introduce a property called code. Let's say, for example, this code is indicating what the batch code for this employee and everything. And I need, for example, three different objects. Let me just apply a quick prettier here. Perfect. So this is my first object, this is my second object, this is my third object. Okay. So the batch code here is 1, 1, and here it is 2. So now I want to apply sorting on this particular array of object based upon the batch code. So all the people here, all the employees which are having a code 1, should get on top and which are having the code 2 should come on the bottom. It means the ascending sort on the code here. So let me just apply that by writing a custom compare function. So it's object 1, object 2, and here I can say object 1 dot code minus object 1, sorry, 2 dot code. So let's console it and see the outcome. That's perfect. All the employees which are having the code 1 are coming on the top, and the people who are having the code 2 are coming at the bottom. So we have successfully implemented the ascending sort by using a code in array of object, which are list of employees in this case. Now, if you observe here, the people who are having, the employees who are having the batch code called 1, whatever their sequence is available originally, the same sequence is also maintained in the final after the sorting as well. So here the employee ID 102 and the 103, this is the sequence for batch code 1. So here also in outcome 102 and the 103 is maintained as it is. It means 102 is always prior to 103 in output as well as the original as well. Even if I keep increasing the length of the number of elements here, for example, here one more I'll add again with the code 1. And to make it more complicated, I'll add one more. And here I'll make it 2, for example. So now here, the batch code 1 is assigned to 3 people, 102 ID, 103, 104, these 3 employees. So this sequence will be exactly maintained after the sorting as well. And that is what the meaning of stable sort. So let's see the outcome. So this is 102, 103, and the 104. Along with that, one more difference you can observe. This is the batch code 2, and the below one is the batch code 2 as well. So 101 is prior to 105 in the original AL. In outcome also, 101 will be prior and 105 will be later. Let's try to shuffle it and see the difference. So now I'm keeping 105 on the top and 101 after the 105. So in final outcome also, all the batch code which are having 2, whatever the current sequence is there, that you will see. So 105 will be prior, then 101 will be there. So it's 105 and 101. This might not look that much great or beneficial when we are just dealing with small example, but it will be really very beneficial when you are dealing the sorting on thousands of data, in which, for example, you can consider there are thousands of employee and then there are only 4 to 5 batch codes. So whatever the current sequence is maintained before the sorting, if it is available after the sorting also, that is a great help in many scenarios. And this is how the stable sort is implemented in JavaScript. Stable sort was not a possible scenario in JavaScript as a guaranteed previous to ECMA script 2019 version. From the ECMA 2019 version, the JavaScript implemented the stable sort in which we can guarantee the sequence will remain same before sort and after sort for the common elements or maybe the similar objects. In this case, this 2, in this case, this 1, 1, 1. Previously, before ECMA 2019, it was not guaranteed. Sometimes in the final outcome, you can expect this will come above or this will come below of this. It might depend on the algorithm that JavaScript you use to perform the sorting. But now it's stable sort and you can guarantee the sequence will remain same after the sort as well. Let's try to work on sorting on actual REST API data. So in this particular lecture, we are not going to understand how exactly we need to call a REST API, how to deal with a REST API, but we are more trying to focus on how to apply a sorting on the data which is being downloaded by the REST API. We are going to use third-party ready-made REST API service, which is available on the internet on a public domain, that from where we will directly download the data in JSON list of object format. Let's try with a quick example. So firstly, I need to figure it out some third-party REST API available for this. You can also create a local JSON server and have that. But for now, to make it much simpler, I'm just using third-party REST API service here. So I'm searching sample product REST API. So this is something, a website which is being popularly used by many people, that is dummyjson.com. And here I'm having a path here that is https://dummyjson.com/products. So let's copy this. If you're just hitting this particular URL, you can see you can get a complete JSON data of around 30 to 35 products here. Each and every product will have certain information called the ID of the product, title, description, and many more. If you want to see this information in a much more detail, you can just copy this code on any online JSON editor, like the way I'm using here, online JSON editor. And let me just copy this data and view. So I can see here in this particular complex data, after formatting it, I can see there is one variable called property. It's an object actually, it's a JSON object. So there is a property in which the one property is there total 100, keep 0, limit 30. So limit 3 is indicating it's a 30 product list here. We don't need to go in complexity of this data structure. What we are more interested in, the products array. So products is an array which is holding 30 objects in it. Each and every object is representing one product. It includes the properties called ID, title, description, and many more. And after downloading this data inside our program, what we will do, we'll try to perform the sorting based on the title, based on the price, based on the rating, so that we can have a nice view how like we can display the product information by rating, by pricing, and many more. So let's see with a quick example here. So there is a method available called fetch. So this helps to download the data or to call the REST API directly from the JavaScript. It is not any third-party function. It's a default available in JavaScript. And here I need to pass the URL of my REST API. The people who are not completely aware with the REST API is a simple service using which we can get the backend data. Let me just copy this URL, put it. Just a quick note to all of you here, when I'm recording, so this particular URL is working for me, and this is one of the used by many people and from many days. But maybe at the time when you are trying this example, if this site is not working or there is some problem, you can try figuring out any other similar service like this, and you can copy the respective path for that, or you can build your own path by using the JSON server local installation. Okay. And to get the data out of this, there are some certain things I need to do. I need to perform the JSON conversion, then I need to also write some promise statement and everything. Or that is not needed in this particular lecture. So I'll request you to completely ignore the unwanted part to better focus on the sorting mechanism. Still, I'll give you a small hint about it, what exactly is happening in detail. Very first thing, let me just confirm I'm able to see my data inside the console. Yes. So I'm able to download my data in which I can see the list of products. That's perfect. And what exactly happening here? This particular fetch line is downloading the data available on this REST API. It's calling the REST API. Then what if the data is coming from the REST API? We are performing the JSON conversion for that. And after the JSON conversion, then we are making use of it like a normal object. So here, this particular response is a normal object. If you want to confirm that, what you can do, so let me just apply a function here. And a quick note here, why we are using this then sequence. This is a promise chaining, which is not needed in this case. The promise chaining is used to complete the one action after another action. Let's say, firstly, you want to get the data. Then after getting the data, you want to convert to a JSON. Then after that, you want to do something on that. So this is a list of actions we are chaining with each other. That's the reason we are using this promise chaining here. Now here, I want to confirm the data type for this response. So this will be an object. Let's confirm. It's an object. That's perfect. And out of this object, I'll be needing this array called products. So what I'll do here, I'll say let products response dot products. And from now onwards, we are going to deal only with the products. Let's confirm the data type of that as well. So it's showing object here and a beautiful 30 objects array here, elements array here. And it's an array, but why it's showing object here? Because all the arrays are object in background. If you want to confirm it's an array or not, what we can do, array dot is array. We can see it's an array. Okay. Now, on this particular data, I want to perform the sorting based upon maybe the name or maybe the pricing. So what I'll do here, first of all, I'll decide on what basis I want to apply the sorting. So already it is sorted based upon ID. We will try to do the sorting based upon the title here. That will be simple. So what I'll do here, I will say products dot sort. Okay. And here again, object one, object two, and here we need to write our sorting logic. So we'll say if object one dot title, let me confirm the spell here. Yes, it's a normal title only. If it is less than object two dot title, so we'll simply return -1. Else, if object one dot title is greater than object two dot title, then we'll return a positive number. If both are equal, we'll return 0, which will keep. So we are returning -1 when the title 1 is smaller than the title 2 when we are comparing two objects. Again, the reverse condition of it, and lastly 0. And now let's try to console the products array. So we are getting here both output as it is, like both the previous as well as the first one is getting sorted. If you see, it is starting with something hyphen, then 3BEF. So it means the sorting is successful. But only the problem here is the sorting is being successful even before the console over here. That is because we are performing a sorting on an array. So this is a large data we are displaying in the console, which might taking a time in background, and till the time we are completing our sort, it is not completely displaying its data. And after the sort, it is started displaying on the screen. So that might causing an error here. And that's the reason both on line number 7, the data we are printing, and the line number 19, this line number 17 and the line number 19, we are getting the same sorted data. We should not get the sorted data here. To reduce this confusion, what we will do, we'll just create a quick shadow copy of products here. And I'll create a new, for example, sort data here. And better, for this particular sort data will console on the screen. Let's see now. The first one should not be sorted. Yes, it's perfect. ID 123 and it's coming iPhone, then Samsung and everything, which is not a sorted order at all. And now if we see ours, so first thing you should notice, the IDs got shuffled. It means definitely something got happened here. So we can see firstly hyphen is coming as per the ASCII sequence. Hyphen will have the priority more than the numbers and the alphabets. Then numbers are coming, then B, E, F, H, and all this. At the end, we should get something. And at the end, you can see I and P are coming at the end, including the C, because these are the small letters. And of course, the small letters will have a lower priority in more ASCII value in the ASCII table. If you want to solve that problem, what we can do, we can We can say object one dot title will equals to object one dot title to lowercase to lowercase. And the same thing with object to title as well. Let's see the results. Yes, now all the, even if it's a capital or the small, all are getting correctly here. But the thing is that original titles got modified. And why this is happening? Because we are trying to change the data inside the object. So even though we are creating a shadow copy, we are creating a copy of an array, but the objects are same inside both of these. So what could be the solution for this? We can create a temporary variables here. And for example, it's a title one, then let title two, and we should perform the comparison between the temporary variables we have created. T2. Of course, there could be a better solution as compared to this, but this is what we are trying at this moment. It's not case sensitive now. The sorting is very perfect, and even the original capital or the small case letters are very well preserved over here. So this is how we can apply the sorting on the complex data. Now you can imagine, you might have seen on many shopping websites, you can sort out the items by using the rating or maybe by using the name, by using the pricing. So how simple it is to do in JavaScript.